So should I present here?
Either way is fine.
I'll present here.
Okay.
Pride is the biggest problem between friends. Today, that is the resolution. And please stand with me on the firmest ground of the affirmation of the resolution for these 3 key reasons. Pride doesn't really let you take jokes or take many things lightly with your friends, because if your pride is wounded, things can start to go south very fast. A feeling you are better than other people you know leads to you kind of becoming the overlord and trying to control them. And if it doesn't lead to that, it'll just end up with you being a jerk. And you have to remember, you should always treat people as equals, even if they're not equals. You should always treat people as equals because I'd assume that's how you'd wish to be treated. Thank you. And for these reasons, please stand with me on the firmest ground of the affirmation of the resolution that pride is the biggest problem between friends. Thank you.
Whenever you're ready.
Judge, please stand with me on the firmest negation today that pride is not the biggest problem between friends for the following 2 reasons. First, negate this topic today because of the fact that there are many emotions and many different types of scenarios that can cause problems between friendships, not just pride. For example, if there are 2 friends and one friend gets mad at the other friend, it may not just be because of pride. It's probably going to be a mix of emotions: pride, anger, jealousy, envy. There are thousands of different emotions that can run through a friendship and ruin it. Second, fail this topic today because there's simply no way to prove whether pride is a deciding factor in a friendship. Now, obviously, if one friend says, "I'm jealous of you" or "I'm better than you," then it may be obvious that the friend is more proud than the other. But in most cases, it's too hard to tell what becomes the deciding factor in a relationship. For all these reasons and many more, please negate.
So now you guys have 3 minutes for questions. Whenever you guys are ready.
As the affirmation.
Thank you. You said that many emotions can ruin a friendship. Now, while that's true, the worst ones aren't just the ones that are the most effective. They're also the ones that have the highest chance of happening. Pride happens a lot, and it's happened to everybody in this room probably, and most likely to most of the people you know. And if you leave it unchecked, it can ruin your relationship almost instantly.
I don't really understand how that was a question, so I'm going to move on because you didn't ask a question. Your main point in your speech was about how effective pride can be at ruining a relationship, and now while I completely agree with you that pride can ruin a relationship, wouldn't you agree that other emotions such as anger at a friend or jealousy at a friend can also ruin relationships just as effectively?
Yes, the question wasn't, is pride the only way to ruin a relationship? The question was, is pride the most effective way of ruining a relationship?
Since I just asked you if pride was if there are other emotions just as effective as ruining relationships as pride, and you said yes, doesn't that completely shut down your case because you're trying to prove that pride is the most effective? But you've just agreed with me when I've said that there are other emotions just as effective as pride.
There are other emotions just as effective, but there's one problem. A lot of those emotions don't happen as often or as drastically as they would need to in order to shut down a relationship. They just don't happen as much.
Well, wouldn't those be irrelevant to the debate because we're trying to prove which emotion is more effective? It doesn't matter which one happens more or which one happens more drastically.
No, we're looking at which one is the worst. We're not looking at which one is the most effective.
But that's what the topic is.
No.
Which one's the biggest cause of ruining a relationship?
That doesn't just judge effectiveness. Cause judges percentage of happening and effectiveness.
So how can you specifically prove that pride is better than emotions such as anger, jealousy, and greed?
Anger, jealousy, and greed are very, very important. But I'd say that jealousy and greed can also be put under pride's umbrella. And pride and all those emotions cause anger. Anger is just one of the roots of them.
But how can you prove that pride is how can you specifically prove that pride is the deciding factor in the relationship?
Emotions can't be proved. Just like anything with emotions or with or with pretty much anything that isn't mathematical, you can't perfectly prove it.
So would you agree that your entire case is just a hypothesis?
Yes, and I would also say that so is yours. This whole debate is about a hypothesis.
Okay, I don't really understand how not proving a hypothesis is another hypothesis, but seeing as we're out of time.
Thank you. So now we have, we're going to start with